AITA for refusing to wear the suit my mom picked out for my brother's wedding because it looked like a rejected prop from a low-budget sci-fi movie, even though it sent her into a full-on meltdown? I swear I didn't mean to ruin her day, but I also didn't want to look like a walking disco ball in front of 200 people. Let me explain how this all went down. I'm 27, single, and I've been living in this tiny apartment above a vape shop for the last 2 years. It smells like cotton candy and regret most days, but it's cheap and I've got a killer view of the alley where the raccoons fight over dumpster treasures. My mom, though? She's the queen of appearances. She's 58, wears pearls to the grocery store, and has this habit of tapping her manicured nails on the table when she's annoyed, like a passive-aggressive Morse code. My brother, Jake, is 30, getting married to his fiancée, Lila, who's honestly too cool for him. She's got tattoos of constellations on her arms and once beat me at Mario Kart without even looking at the screen. The wedding was set to happen at this weird venue, an old planetarium that got converted into an event space. Think domed ceilings with faded star maps, creaky wooden floors, and a vibe that's half romantic, half, I hope this place isn't haunted. Mom's been planning Jake's wedding like it's her personal Oscars red carpet. She's been texting me nonstop on WhatsApp pictures of floral arrangements, playlists, even a screenshot of her vision board with a note that says elegance is key. I usually just reply with a thumbs up emoji to keep the peace. But then 2 weeks ago she showed up at my place with the suit. She held it up like it was a holy relic, grinning ear to ear. It was this metallic silver thing with wide lapels, a vest that shimmered like a fish scale, and pants so tight I'd need to grease my legs to get into them. She said I found it at a vintage boutique. It's perfect for the planetarium theme, my little astronaut. I stared at it, then at her, and thought, is this woman trying to sabotage me? I tried to be nice at first. Oh, Mom, it's bold. Maybe too bold. She waved me off, saying, nonsense, you'll stand out. Jake's wearing navy, Lila's in white, and you'll be the star of the show. I'm pretty sure the best man isn't supposed to outshine the groom, but I let it slide. She left the suit hanging on my coat rack where it stared at me for days like a judgmental ghost. I even caught my neighbor, Dave, he's the scruffy guy who sells tie-dye shirts on Etsy, snickering through the window when he saw it. Fast forward to last weekend, 3 days before the wedding. Mom insisted I try it on for a family fitting at her house. I showed up in my usual jeans and a hoodie, and she dragged me to the living room where Jake and Lila were already there, sipping coffee. Jake looked normal in his navy suit, Lila was rocking a leather jacket over her dress like a badass, and then there was me wrestling into the silver monstrosity. The pants squeaked when I moved. The vest reflected the chandelier light so hard it nearly blinded Jake. I caught my reflection in the mirror and laughed, legit cackled, because I looked like a cross between David Bowie and a malfunctioning robot. Mom, I said, still giggling, I can't wear this. I look ridiculous. Her face fell faster than a meteor. Ridiculous? This is artistic. I spent hours finding something unique for you. Her voice cracked, and I realized I'd stepped on a landmine. Jake tried to mediate, saying, it's, memorable, dude. Maybe tone it down with a different shirt. But Mom wasn't having it. No. It's a set. You're ruining the vision. Lila, bless her, chimed in with, hey, he could wear it ironically. Lean into the absurdity. I loved that idea, but Mom shot her a glare that could have melted steel. Things escalated fast. I said, look, I'm not wearing it. I'll rent something normal, black, gray, whatever. I don't want to be a distraction. Mom's eyes welled up and she snapped, a distraction? You're my son. You're supposed to support this family, not mock my efforts. She stormed off to the kitchen, leaving me standing there in those stupid squeaky pants while Jake whispered, bro, you're screwed. I peeled the suit off, handed it back to her later with an apology, and said I'd figure something else out. She didn't speak to me for the rest of the night, just tapped her nails on the counter and sighed dramatically. The wedding was yesterday and I showed up in a rented charcoal suit I got last minute from some sketchy dry cleaner down the street. It fit fine, nothing flashy, just me blending into the background like a normal best man. The planetarium looked amazing, twinkling lights strung across the dome, a string quartet playing something spacey, and Lila walking down the aisle like a galaxy in human form. Jake grinned like an idiot and I gave my toast without tripping over my words, so I'd call it a win. But Mom? She barely looked at me. She spent the night fussing over the centerpieces and whispering to my aunt about how ungrateful I am. Lila told me later Mom had ranted about the silver suit being a symbol of family unity that I'd rejected. Jake just shrugged and said she'll get over it. Probably. Now I'm back in my apartment, scrolling X while the raccoons scream outside, wondering if I overreacted. I get that Mom wanted me to feel special, but that suit was a crime against fashion. I didn't want to hurt her. She's been texting me passive-aggressive stuff like, hope you're happy in your boring gray all day, but I also didn't want to be the guy everyone's secretly Snapchatting with captions like, who let this dude in? My phone's buzzing with family group chat notifications, half of them siding with mom, half telling me I dodged a bullet. I just wanted to support Jake without looking like a cosmic clown. So Reddit AITA for refusing the suit and breaking her heart over it? AITA for telling my friend her new dress looked like a deflated hot air balloon when she begged for my honest opinion only for her to flip out and call me a rude asshole? I thought I was doing her a solid, but now she's icing me out and I'm questioning my entire existence over a piece of fabric. Let me break this down for you. I'm 24 and I've been obsessed with urban foraging lately, think picking wild blackberries in abandoned lots and dodging sketchy dudes with shopping carts. I've got dirt under my nails half the time and a backpack full of mason jars like some hipster survivalist. My friend Sasha, though? She's 25, a total fashionista who lives for thrifting and TikTok hauls. She's got this wild curly hair she dyes a new color every month. Right now it's electric blue and she's always snapping mirror selfies with captions like, serving looks, no leftovers. We've been tight since college where we bonded over sneaking ramen into the library during finals. Our friendship's usually chill, but we're opposites. I'm blunt as hell, and she's sensitive like cries at Pixar movies sensitive. This all went down at a flea market we hit up every Sunday. It's the sprawling chaos of tents and tables in a gravel lot behind an old warehouse, vendors hawking everything from vintage teapots to bootleg Pokemon cards. The air smells like fried dough and stale cigarettes, and there's always some guy yelling about authentic crystals. Sasha dragged me there to hunt for a dress for this art gallery opening she's hyped about, her coworkers exhibiting some abstract paintings, and she's determined to slay the vibe. I was half paying attention, munching on a greasy empanada when she squealed and yanked this dress off a rack. It was $15, this flowy maxi thing with a tie-dye pattern in mustard yellow and burnt orange, plus these giant ruffled sleeves. She held it up like it was a Grammy, eyes sparkling, and said, "This is it. I'm gonna look like a boho goddess." I shrugged and said, "Try it on, I guess." There's this grimy pop-up tent with a curtain for changing, so she darted in while I scrolled X, dodging a toddler who nearly ran me over with a tricycle. She came out twirling, grinning like a kid on Christmas, and the dress, oh man. It hung off her like a saggy parachute, the colors clashing with her blue hair like a bad 90s music video. The sleeves flapped when she moved, and the whole thing made her look drowned in fabric. She struck a pose, hands on hips, chin up, and asked, "Okay, be honest. How'd I look? Here's where I screwed up, maybe." Sasha's always saying she wants my real opinion, not some fake hype. So I swallowed the last of my empanada, wiped my hands on my jeans, and said, "Honest? It's not great. Looks like a deflated hot air balloon got lost in a thrift store. The colors are weird with your hair, and it's swallowing you alive." I even chuckled a little, thinking she'd laugh too. She's got a solid sense of humor usually. Nope. Her face froze, then crumpled like I'd punched her in the soul. "Wow," she said, voice tight. "That's harsh. You didn't have to be so rude about it." I blinked, caught off guard, and tried to backpedal. "I mean, it's just not you. You're usually so sharp, this feels sloppy." But she was already peeling it off, tossing it back on the rack like it had betrayed her. The rest of the market trip was brutal. She barely spoke, just huffed around sniffing candles and muttering stuff like, "Guess I can't trust you to be nice." I tried joking, "Hey, at least I didn't say it looked like a tablecloth." But she shot me this death glare and said, "You're not helping." By the time we grabbed bubble tea to go, mango for me, taro for her, she was full on sulking, slurping her drink so loud it sounded like a personal attack. I finally asked, "Sasha, come on, you asked me to be real? What's the deal?" She snapped, "There's a difference between honest and mean, okay? You could have said it nicer." Now I feel like crap. Then she stormed off toward her car, leaving me standing there with my straw halfway to my mouth. Since then, it's been radio silence. No texts, no memes, she didn't even react to the SpongeBob staring gif I sent as a peace offering. I checked her Insta last night, and she'd posted a cryptic story, a black screen with "when your friends don't get you" in white text, plus a sad emoji. Ouch. My sister, who's 19 and way better at feelings, told me I should have softened it like maybe try something more fitted. But I'm not a sugarcoat guy, that's why Sasha likes me, right? Meanwhile, the group chat with our college crew is blowing up. One friend's like, "You're savage, LOL, and another's all, "She'll get over it, she's dramatic." I'm just over here picking nettles in my backyard, wondering if I'm the jerk. I didn't mean to tank her confidence, she's my girl, you know? But that dress was a disaster and I thought she'd want the truth before strutting into that gallery looking like a thrift store experiment gone wrong. Now she's acting like I'm some heartless troll and I'm stuck replaying it, wondering if I should have lied. So, Reddit, AITA for being too blunt about the dress, or was she overreacting to some honest feedback? AITA for returning the sneakers my girlfriend gave me because they were so not my vibe, even though she's now calling me an ungrateful jerk and giving me the silent treatment. I didn't think it'd blow up like this, but apparently I've committed a cardinal sin in the relationship handbook. Let me walk you through it. I'm 29, a freelance sound engineer who spends most of my time in a cluttered home studio, think tangled cables, empty Red Bull cans, and a beanbag chair I've nicknamed the throne. I'm not fancy, my wardrobe's mostly black tees, cargo pants, and beat-up Vans I've had since 2018. My girlfriend, Tara, is 28, a barista with a side hustle selling handmade earrings on Etsy. She's got this chaotic energy I love, always blasting lo-fi beats, doodling on napkins, and wearing these oversized cardigans that make her look like a cozy art teacher. We've been together for 9 months and it's been solid. She's got a knack for picking gifts, too. Last month, she got me a vintage mic pin that I wear on my jacket nonstop. But the sneaker thing? It's a whole different beast. We've got this tradition of hitting up a local arcade every Friday. It's this neon-lit relic called Pixel Palace, tucked between a laundromat and a pawn shop. The carpet's sticky, the air smells like burnt popcorn, and the Street Fighter 2 machine eats quarters like a champ. Last week, after I crushed her at Pac-Man, she swears I cheated, she grinned and handed me a shoebox wrapped in comic strip paper. Early birthday present, she said, bouncing on her toes. I opened it, and inside were these high-top sneakers, bright teal with neon pink laces and some abstract splatter design, like a paintball fight gone wrong. Tara's eyes were all lit up, waiting for my reaction. I forced a smile and said, "Whoa, these are wild." She nodded, proud as hell. Right? I saw them at this pop-up shop and thought, that's so you. Here's the thing, they weren't me at all. I'm a muted colors guy, give me black, gray, or olive and I'm set. These looked like something a SoundCloud rapper would wear ironically. I tried them on anyway, clomping around the arcade while she snapped pics for her Insta story. The bartender, this grizzled dude named Rico who always wears a trucker hat, smirked and said, "You joining the circus, man?" I laughed it off, but inside I was already plotting their escape. Tara kept gushing, "They're so bold. You need more color in your life." And I just nodded, dodging the truth like a pro. 2 days later, I returned them. The pop-up shop had a 7-day policy, and I figured I'd swap them for something I'd actually wear. I snagged a pair of plain black low-tops, simple, clean, my speed, and pocketed the $20 difference for a pizza run. I didn't tell Tara right away because, well, I'm an idiot who thought she'd never notice. But last night, she came over to record a podcast with me. She's been guesting on my weird audio experiments and spotted the new kicks by the door. "Where'd those come from?" she asked, squinting. I fessed up, I traded the teal ones. They weren't really my style. Her face went from confused to pissed in 0.2 seconds. "You returned them?" Without even telling me. It spiraled fast. She crossed her arms, voice rising. "I spent an hour picking those out. I thought you'd love the vibe." I tried to explain, "Tara, I appreciate it, but they're just too much. I'd never wear them." She scoffed, "So you're saying my taste sucks?" I fumbled, "No, I'm saying they don't fit me. I'm boring, okay?" Wrong move. Her eyes got shiny and she snapped, "You're so ungrateful. I put thought into that and you just tossed it like trash." She grabbed her bag, muttered something about needing space, and left me standing there with my mic still recording dead air. Now it's been 24 hours of nada, no texts, no "you up" memes, just silence. I checked her Twitter and she's posted a vague "some people don't deserve nice things" with a shrug emoji. Brutal. My buddy Mike, who's been crashing on my couch since his lease ended, says I'm a dumbass for not keeping them. Anyway, dude, it's a gift. You smile and deal. But I hate faking it, and those sneakers would have sat in my closet collecting dust. I even tried calling her earlier, left a voicemail like, "Hey, I'm sorry I hurt you. Can we talk?" No reply. The Discord server we're both in is buzzing with our mutuals asking why she's offline and salty, and I'm dodging questions like a politician. I feel like crap. She's right that she put effort in, and I love that about her. But I also didn't want to lie and pretend I'd rock those clown shoes. Now I'm wondering if I should have just sucked it up, worn them once, and buried them in a drawer. Pixel Palace night's tomorrow, and I don't know if she'll show. So, Reddit, AITA for returning the sneakers and tanking her feelings, or was I just being real about what I'd actually use? AITA for asking my roommate not to dry his blindingly bright socks on our shared drying rack, only for him to call me a picky control freak and turn it into a whole thing? I didn't think it'd escalate to Cold War status, but now I'm questioning if I'm the weirdo here. Let me paint the picture. I'm 26, a graphic designer who works from home in this cramped two-bedroom flat in a converted Victorian house. The place has charm, high ceilings, creaky floors, but it's also a nightmare of quirks, like a radiator that clanks like a poltergeist and a kitchen window that overlooks a courtyard full of feral cats. I'm a bit of a neat freak. My desk is all right angles, pens lined up, and I've got a color-coded calendar on Google Sheets that my friends mock me for. My roommate, Leo, is 24, a bartender and aspiring DJ who's the human equivalent of a confetti cannon. He's got a shaved head with a lightning bolt tattoo behind his ear, wears mismatched thrifted vests, and leaves half-eaten bowls of ramen everywhere like it's performance art. We've been splitting rent for 6 months, and it's mostly fine. He's loud but pays on time. The trouble started with our drying rack. We don't have a dryer, landlord's too cheap, so we've got this foldable metal thing we set up in the living room by the window. It's a shared space, right? I air dry my tees and jeans there, all muted grays and blues, nothing flashy. Leo, though? He's got this collection of socks that look like they escaped a rave: neon green, hot pink, electric yellow, some with flamingo patterns or weed leaves. He washes them by hand in the sink. Why? No clue, and drapes them over the rack like it's a damn art installation. They're so bright I can see them from my desk across the room, glowing like radioactive warning signs. It's distracting as hell when I'm trying to focus on client mock-ups. Imagine tweaking a minimalist logo while a pair of tie-dye socks screams at you from the corner. Last Tuesday, I'd had enough. I was on a deadline. The cats outside were yowling, and Leo's latest batch, lime green with purple polka dots, was practically pulsing. I walked over, hands on hips, and said, "Hey man, can you dry these somewhere else? They're kind of a lot." He was sprawled on the couch, scrolling SoundCloud on his phone, and looked up like I'd asked him to shave his head again. "What's wrong with them?" he said, smirking. I gestured at the rack. "They're super loud. It's like staring at a traffic light. Maybe hang them in your room." He sat up, eyebrows shooting up. "They're just socks, dude. You're being picky as hell. What's next? You gonna ban my playlists too?" I tried to keep it chill. "It's not a ban, just, this is shared space and they're distracting. I don't care where they go, just not here." He laughed, but it was that sharp, annoyed kind. "Distracting? They're not playing dubstep. You're acting like I hung wet boxers in your face." I bristled. "Okay, maybe I overreacted," and said, "I'm not, but I'm working, and it's hard to focus with a neon circus in my eye line." He rolled his eyes, stood up, and snatched the socks off the rack, muttering, "Fine, Your Highness. Didn't know I was living with the sock police." Then he stomped to his room, leaving me standing there like an idiot. Since then, it's been tense. He's still drying his socks, but now he's stringing them up on a clothesline he rigged across his doorway, visible from the hall like a passive-aggressive rainbow taunting me. He's also been extra loud, blasting trap remixes at 1 a.m., clanging dishes when he cooks. Yesterday, he left a post-it on the fridge, "Sock-free zone happy now?" with a winky face that felt more like a middle finger. I texted our mutual friend Priya about it, and she said, "He's being dramatic, but you did sound kinda uptight. They're just socks." My sister, who FaceTimed me last night, laughed her ass off and said, "You're both children. Buy him a laundry basket and call it a day." I get it. Socks aren't a hill to die on. Leo's not wrong that I can be particular. I once reorganized our spice rack alphabetically, and he still teases me about it. But I'm not trying to control him. I just want our shared space to feel neutral, you know? Now he's acting like I've declared war on his entire vibe, and I'm second-guessing if I should have just dealt with the glow-in-the-dark parade. The rack's empty now, but the vibe's off, and I'm dreading our next grocery run together. So, Reddit, AITA for asking him to move his loud-ass socks. Or am I the uptight jerk he thinks I am? AITA for not complimenting my friend's haircut when it looked like a lawnmower and a bull had a fight on his head even though my silence apparently wounded his soul? I didn't think saying nothing would turn into a whole drama, but now he's acting like I spat on his pride. Let me spill the tea. I'm 31, a part-time barista and full-time cryptid hunter, well, amateur podcaster about cryptids anyway. I record episodes in my basement, surrounded by thrift store lamps and a corkboard plastered with Bigfoot sketches and blurry trail cam pics. My life's a mess of coffee stains and conspiracy theories, but I like it that way. My friend Ethan, 33, is the opposite. He's a gym rat and a sales rep for some energy drink startup. He's got biceps that could crush a watermelon and this loud laugh that echoes like a foghorn. We've been buds since high school when we'd sneak into abandoned barns to hunt for evidence of ghosts. Spoiler, we found raccoons. He's vain as hell, though, always flexing in selfies, obsessing over his protein shakes, and texting me gym mirror pics with thoughts, like I'm his personal hype man. This all kicked off at our monthly meetup spot, a dive bar called the Rusty Trap, this grungy hole in the wall with peeling taxidermy on the walls and a jukebox that only plays Johnny Cash or Static. The bar's in the middle of nowhere, next to a cornfield that smells like damp earth and regret, and we go there to shoot pool and talk smack. Last Saturday, I rolled in late, still wired from recording a Mothman episode, wearing my usual flannel and a beanie that's seen better days. Ethan was already there, leaning against the pool table with a beer, and I nearly dropped my keys when I saw him. His usual buzz cut was gone, replaced by this thing. It was a high fade with a floppy top, like someone plopped a wet mop on his skull and called it art. The sides were razor sharp, but the top was uneven, curling in weird directions like it was trying to escape. He grinned, running a hand through it, and said, "Well? New cut, bro, barber killed it, right?" I froze. My brain screamed, it looks like a Pinterest fail, but my mouth just didn't move. I'm not a liar, I can't fake a wow looks great when I'm staring at a disaster. So I nodded vaguely, grabbed a cue stick, and mumbled, yeah, it's different. His grin faltered, and he tilted his head. Different? That's it? Come on, man, give me something. I racked the balls, avoiding eye contact, and shrugged. I dunno, it's a haircut. Big mistake. His face tightened and he set his beer down hard enough that it sloshed. What's that supposed to mean? You don't like it. I could have lied then, but I suck at backtracking. I didn't say that, I said, lining up my shot. It's just bold. Not my thing, maybe? He scoffed, loud and bitter. Not your thing? You can't just say it looks good? I spent $40 on this. I scratched the shot ball, went nowhere, and turned to him. Dude, you asked. I'm not gonna gush if I don't feel it. He threw his hands up. You didn't say anything. You just stood there like I'm some clown. That's cold, man. I laughed, nervous, not mean, and said, come on, it's hair. It'll grow back. Wrong move. He grabbed his jacket, snapped, forget it. Enjoy your pool, and stormed out, leaving me with a half-empty beer and a table full of locals staring. Now it's been 4 days and he's ghosting me. No replies to my "you good?" texts, no dumb gym memes in our chat. I saw on his Snapchat story he's been polling his followers, rate the cut, 1 to 10, and they're all hyping him up with 8s and fire emojis. Fair enough, I guess, but I'm not them. My sister, who's 25 and lives for drama, called me last night and said, you're an idiot. Just say it's cool next time, even if it's hideous. But Ethan knows I'm not a hype guy. I once told him his beast mode tank top looked like a middle school PE uniform and he laughed it off. This time though? He's taking it personal. Our buddy Jake texted me, he's sulking. Thinks you judged him. Judged him? I just didn't want to lie. I feel kinda bad, he was stoked about it, and I could have tossed him a "hey, you're rocking it" to keep the peace. But that cut was a crime scene, and my silence wasn't meant to shank his ego. Now I'm wondering if I should have faked it or if he's overreacting to me not being his personal cheerleader. The Rusty Trap's calling this weekend and I don't know if he'll show. So, Reddit, AITA for keeping quiet about his ridiculous haircut, or is he just mad I didn't stroke his vanity?